All right, so I am joined here today by boxing fight promoter Larry Wainstein and Ludumo Lamati as well. Welcome, gentlemen. I know that we have important matters to discuss today. Larry, you wanted to open up the forum to obviously chat about some important causes. Let's start with your show. You're saying that you are going ahead with it on the 8th of March. What's the background behind that now?
So the background behind it is we've done the sanctioning letters gone in and the deposits being paid. Contracts have been signed, and we've put out, the fight bill will come out by tomorrow. We're putting on a 10-fight bill. We've got some unbelievable fights going on. We've got DJ Creel fighting. We've got Kane Fourie, who's a new acquisition to No Doubt Management. He's fighting on the bill. We've got Katlejong. Katlejong is also an unbeaten. He's the Gauteng champion. We've also got, I'm going through it, we've got the Caden Truter, we've got Kristen Truter, we've got a new boy that's with us in Klankla.
Oh, okay. Bring him on.
This is one of Ludumo's boys.
Okay.
So he's on. And going through it, we've got Josh Feldman on. We've got Luco on again. And I'm just trying to think if that's all of them.
The featherweight.
We've got Samir Mullah. Hold on, sorry, I'm forgetting about the boys, and we've made this tournament just before Ramadan. Samir Mullah's on, and we've got Ismail Kadri, and after their disappointment last time. So that's a bill of those fighters. Of the 10 fighters, 8 fighters are unbeaten. So that is some bill, and we thought we're going to start this year with a bang. And our plan going forward is to do probably 7 tournaments this year. But as you know, where we are.
Before we get into the hard topics, I just want to quickly go into this one. You talk about Tircha coming here. Talk us through this deal and how did this happen?
You know, being a part of boxing, almost my life, man. Tircha, I watched his last fight and I saw him, and I had someone saying he needs Tircha to be serious. His boxing is not taken serious. The people around him. And then we talked to his manager. We said, okay, let's sit down and talk and discuss about the future of Tircha. And then he said, no problem. I said, bring him here in Joburg. So we see he's ready, he's in good mind. Remember his last fight wasn't good fight. He lost, and now it's time to pick him up. And the boy looks ready and happy in Joburg, and is here. He joins the team.
So how many fighters have you brought to the promotion now in total?
In total, for now, it's 3. It's logging in. Awonketini is also logging in. Tircha also is logging. Ati, Plakis. I mean, it's good, and all the boys were in national team, so at least they have a good background. I know I'm coming from that background, so I'm excited, man. I'm excited. It's the job they gave me, and I love it.
I see you're focusing on boxers with good amateur backgrounds and pedigree.
Yes, that's very important. Foundation is very important. You can't build anything without solid foundation. So I believe in foundation.
I just want to cross back to you, Larry. Obviously, these acquisitions have got made. Ludumo has been heavily involved, as you discussed in the beginning when you first brought him in into the fold. Are you happy with the work and the signings that he's made?
I've got to say, Ludumo is sometimes very humble, and he talks about the 3. He forgets about our champion in Nkatoli that he brought, Siko, while he was fighting. He forgets about Senokozi, also unbeaten. So he's saying, oh, I got 3. When Ludumo and I sat down, these fighters never spoke to me. He's got to do it. I must tell you, when he brought Ati came and spoke to us. He said, don't speak to me, speak to Ludumo. He's learnt and he's been baptized with fire. He came in, Ati came first fight, Siko and Sinakosi were his teammates, but he held them together, and it was him and that's where I saw this ability that he has with fighters, because he's a fighter. If I talk to a fighter, it's easy for me to talk. I'll go and sleep at night. I've got plenty of food. I've got everything. but a fighter knows what he's been through, and especially Ludumo, what he's been through. He has done way better than I ever thought, and I don't interfere. I do want to say to him though, just be careful. We can't feed all these fighters, but I promise you we won't do that. I know that. But he has stepped up to the plate, and I'm so proud of him. And that's what also shows other fighters that there is a place in boxing after boxing. You know, after boxing is life, and you just got to give the help and assistance. And he is the one that is putting it all together. His first experience with this guy, Ati, he brought him up. We housed him at Boyson's. He made sure he got fed. He picked him up, took him to training. 2 days before the weigh-in, Ati said, "I'm not going to make the weight." And he came to me and said, "What do I do?" I said, "Hey, don't talk to me. Speak to AB." AB said, "You're going to get penalized. The fight will go on, but you're going to get 20% taken off your purse money." He said, "What?" I said, "Well, I don't make the rules." He phoned Ati, and Ati knows the story, and said to him 2 days before, he said, "Listen to me, I don't mind you losing 20% of your purse. But Pumzi and I aren't losing 20% of our purse. Now go and make the weight." And he came in a kilo under. He says to me, "Geez, what you put up with boxers?" I said, "Welcome to boxing." I said, "Now you know what I've put up with you all the years." But it's not true about him, and that's one thing. One thing about Ludumo, that's why he is what he is. He never had a problem, and even if he knew he couldn't make it, he made it. And he didn't tell people about it, but that's how boxers are. And now it's been unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Let's keep on that subject about boxers suffering. I think it's a known thing that boxers do struggle a lot, and they rely on the opportunities the promoters provide them. There's been a bit of turmoil in terms of the promotional game. Certain people starting to sort of try veto the game at the moment and try put boxing on pause. Just wanted to get your take, because you're still going ahead with your tournaments and you're still pushing ahead. What's your take on what's happening around the scene?
So we are, and we're not taking a view that BSA is in a turmoil. They've always been in a turmoil. Whether there is or there isn't, there's always been issues. So let's not make that as an excuse. We cannot allow the impasse to stand. We cannot allow. And that is why one of the most important things that I'm going to talk about is explain to the boxing fraternity what we've done, not for Boxing 5 only, for all our boxers and for all the boxing fans and the boxers themselves, the managers, the trainers, because a lot of people sit back and say, "Well, what's happening?" Yeah, they're just saying there were legal cases between the National Promoters Association and the minister, because the minister put in a board and they're not happy with the board that the minister put in. The National Promoters Boxing Committee. They represent maybe 20 promoters. They don't represent all the promoters. They do not represent the boxers. There's 705 registered licensed boxers. If I tell you there must be maybe countrywide, and I'm guessing on that because I've asked for the numbers, nobody can even tell me the number, 50 promoters. So, and then you've got how many managers, how many trainers. So this is out of kilter. It's what do they say? It's the who's wagging the dog's tail. The people that want to see a board in that's to their advantage. The history of this board is appalling. And we have been in the brunt of it, where because of the national promoters saying you have to do a course or whatever, and your license got suspended. That cost our boxers 3 tournaments, which if you take what each tournament is, take a small scale, is 250,000 purse money. That's almost like 800,000 rand that the boxers never earned on Boxing 5. And then they gave it to us, and we had to wait another 3 weeks before we were able to be issued with a license. And now they are saying they're not happy with the board. The sanctioning committee, if they're not happy with the board, there's a court case going, and the letter that we've sent, we've issued a letter, a legal letter, where we've stated the case of the minister and of the National Promoters Association. We have not taken the act into account. As you can see, there's the act. We've looked at everything. Before we opened our mouths, we made sure everything was right. And we've gone into this. And they always talk about the act. I think they must watch how the National Promoters Association was formed. And the Act tells you how you can do it. It's not that you're not allowed to, but you can, but there's a certain way. That's what they're complaining about. The minister never followed procedure. Okay, he never followed procedure. So must all the other people be held to ransom because the National Promoters Association want to be seen as putting their people in place. And I can tell you their people, because there's rules at PSA, the last interim, where there's rules for some and other rules for others. So all we're asking is that it's fair for everybody. We pay a license fee like they do. What gives them the right to decide what the board consists of? It's up to the minister. It's his prerogative. And now they're not happy, so they interdict him. Okay, so that's fine. Let them interdict him. But there's other ways. We're not asking about the board. Let him sort the board out. But why must we wait until the minister and the legal and the NP, the National Promoters Body, decide whose ego is bigger and who holds the biggest following or who's the best? Yet there's all these people who have democratic rights to earn a living. The boxers on my tournament, the value of the purse money is 300,000. Not government money, my own money. I'm putting it down and it's gone into Boxing South Africa today. This letter that we've sent is giving the minister and we've sent it to BSA, but we're giving them till the 21st of February to put a sanctioning committee in place. Never mind, they're talking about now everyone's focusing on the board. The board doesn't have to function in the sanctioning. They never used to. Prior to this board coming on board, the BSA used to do the sanctioning. So what happens with this board? They decide, no, we'll do it. Why? So there can be more meetings and they get paid more. I don't care what I'm saying, but that is the truth. The time is now that the people whose families are starving and the boxers who put the sport on are looked after, and we're not asking for special treatment for us or any of us. All we want is the right thing to be done. And this will, if it means getting an urgent interdict which will cost 100,000 rand, it will happen. But they don't want to be, they can fight amongst themselves because they can get away with it. And when I get my legal team onto this, which is the start of this, it's a letter that was sent to them today. It was received by Boxing South Africa and received by the minister's office today. And they've got a certain time to respond. And not to do with the law. If we wait for the court case, we'll be waiting until next year. Where's boxing going to be then? So this is what this is about. And we've said to them, this is a memo and we're representing some, and they're going to, if they say, well, who are you representing? First of all, we'll get the people to tell us if they want to support this or if they don't. If they don't, it's okay. But at least we can't sit back and let them dictate. Nobody has put out anything in the public. No media statement, nothing to say where this is. Everything's gone quiet. They're saying how great they are and what they've done and how much they've done, the National Promoters Association. And the minister just says, I'm going to court and I'm going to get my people to look at it. I've given them a copy of the judgments that was given in court. And they are so weak. They are so weak. There's so many loopholes to get around it. So let that continue. Let it go to the law courts. But why stop boxing? And everyone's saying, well, what's happening? What's happening? I've got sponsors saying, is this going on? I'm saying it's going on. I'm telling you this tournament is going on. I don't care what people put on social media and what BSA says until the minister locks me up and says, shut up and get out of this. We will not stop. And when we start issuing lawsuits, then they will feel the pain. Because when I do it, I'll do it on behalf of all the boxers and all the promoters that are willing to stand with us and all the managers, not just 5 or 6 or 10 promoters. And we don't have to ask each promoter to donate some money so I can do a lawsuit. I'll do it out of my own pocket, but they will feel it. I've done this before. We're not going to stay. I've given it a chance. Sat back, never said a word, never answered any posts on social media. The time is now. And we asked you to do this so when people see it, they know what to do. They know where to contact me. You'll put out my number or you'll put out my email and just send me because if the minister wants to know who we're representing, either they're with us or they're not with us. If they're not with us, I will still do it for my fighters and for Boxing 5. And I don't ask anyone to support me with money. That's what's going to happen. The time is now. The time is now.
Sure. Ludumo, I don't know how you will follow that up.
Listen. My partner here next to me doesn't get paid from boxing. He's not talking about his pay from boxing. He's talking about people who need this money. I've been in that position. I was a boxer. Now I'm living off boxing ever since I was young. Now you're telling me my work is closed for a certain period of time, so stop eating at this time. That's a bully move if you think about it. Like I don't mind if the sport carries on and they sort the business, they sort the problems that they have, but there must be something moving, not stopping people to earn money. This is the stop to earn money. Like I'm new, I'm going out to negotiate to Uncle I said he must send me the proposal for our Boxing 5. I'm going to approach sponsors. But now, talking with the sponsors, the guys that have said, oh, we have a fight in the 8, but now I'm not sure. And remember, I'm new with this thing and I'm approaching people and they're willing to come and be part of what I'm doing. But now I'm not sure if the fight is going to go on or no, and then I'm going to waste people's time. So it's we need to look at this and we need to do something.
And I'm sure that's the general consensus of a lot of people out there, as you mentioned earlier, Larry, is like they don't know what's going on, and obviously they are naive in the situation because where are they to turn? Especially when certain information is being divulged online, that tournaments are cancelled or postponed, and that also puts fear into boxers, managers, other promoters.
Sponsors, people who invest. You see, we forget about the people who put money to help this thing go on. You see, like now, I'm not sure what I'm going to say. I have a meeting tomorrow, talking to the sponsor. Like I said, he sent our proposal for on my email. But now to go there, and I'm not sure, I'm going with doubt. See how we're going to look now. It's not about the problem that they have, but if the problem that they have, they found a place to solve it, and then they said, okay, we have interim team that is going to make things move. Just logic thinking.
It's quite stressful times. But Larry, of course, you very confident, obviously, that this still goes ahead. And
I have to be confident. I can't just take the easy way out, because it's easy for me if I say we're not going to put the tournament on because BSA is in a mess. So we don't have to lay out the purse money. Okay, it's easy. But we've allocated this money for a tournament. And if the guys, we've got such a great bill. It's the start of our year. And I don't want guys to be training there till the last week in March. And then they're saying, no, we don't know what's going on. They need to put out a statement. They need to make a stand. And they need to put this right. You can't be held ransom by people that have got their own interests at heart and not people that feed families. And I'm not being nasty. The guys at BSA, okay, we'll wait and see. They all get paid. Even though they didn't have money, they got money from government. Where did the boxers get money from? And it's not their fault. They're prepared to fight. They have plans to and this is the start of it. So I'm looking at it from that point of view, and it's not about boxing Boxing 5. We started last year. We put on 7 tournaments or 6 tournaments. We never made a cent, and I can show people. But it's not about that. We're doing to build up and keep the fighters going and put on tournaments, and eventually it will make money because of what you do. But at this stage, it's not about the money. And if I'm a promoter and I'm funding and I'm under a bit of pressure with the funding, I'm going to say, okay, guys, I can't put on a tournament because I'm not allowed to until I get told. We're not saying that. And nobody has told us you can't put on. I've deposited money for the tournament. They haven't sent it back. I've sent letters to BSA. They sent me a message today. They've received it. And then he said to me, I got a message from my legal team who actually went to the minister's offices in Pretoria today. And we've given them an ultimatum. If they don't, and it's not a threat, it's a call out, please do something. What do we have to do to get boxing back on the road? Everyone's thought, a new year, new board, new this. And it's been a bigger mess than what it's ever been. And why? Because of people's own personal agendas. That's the trouble. And they think they are boxing. They run boxing. They don't. The fighters who fight are the people who run boxing. Because without the fighters, we wouldn't be sitting here. I could do other things. I could be in the Bahamas. But why? Because I I come from a boxing family. I've got interests. I've got Luduma coming into it, who's been like a son to me. I've got other fighters now that we're bringing in, and we're housing them. We're looking after them. We're doing things that boxers haven't thought of. And why do you think the boxing fraternity is sitting back and waiting? Because nobody has got money to take these people on. Nobody. And I can show you messages from the national promoters who said, I need assistance from promoters, 2,000 each, to do the court case. Why doesn't they just put his own money in if he feels so bad about it? That's my problem. And I want to see boxing going forward. I don't think it's right. This is such bad publicity for boxing. Where people are saying, well, it's in chaos. I thought everything is going to be good now. Because their term came to an end. And they're sitting laughing, those idiots of the previous board. Because they've milked it that there wasn't even money for salaries for the BSA. And government had to step in to give them money. But they got their money. They got it quick enough. No, we sorted out their salaries. So what are you going to do about the boxers? When are you going to sort the boxers out? And all it takes is putting a letter in and creating a committee, and then the rest will happen. Then the fighters, the whole thing will just start flying. Promoters will put on tournaments. I know guys are saying, well, what's the sense of putting in? And the big thing is also, I've got to say this, people are scared to put deposits in, and it's not going to happen because you don't get your money back. I don't care. We've put our deposit down. We've put the letters in. We've stuck to the rules. The 8th is today. The 8th is our tournament. If they stick to the rules, we've given them more than enough time. The Act says, and everyone says that, the Act says when the sanctioning committee gets the letter of appointment and they want to put sanction a tournament, within 3 days you'll get an answer. Not once last year was it within 3 days. 2 weeks before the fight, 4 days before the fight. That's the problem.
So I wanted to say, I'm going to cut your point there. Where does that leave you with regards to marketing and advertising for tournaments as well? Because if there's a law that says you can't market or advertise beforehand, I mean, doesn't that leave you stranded in terms of ticket sales and especially increasing the popularity of the fighters?
There's no law that says you can't advertise, but you are taking on a risk, as you've seen with, and I'm not the other promoter that's cancelled 2 of his tournaments. He was out there putting out the tournaments. We were waiting on something. Our posters go out. We on social media. We've been advertising this tournament. Just save the date for 2 weeks. We've just finalised certain things. The one thing that holds us back is getting finalising the sponsors to have give them the exposure that we promised them. So the only problem you have. If it doesn't go ahead, you're disappointing sponsors, you're disappointing boxers, and everyone else sits back and laughs. So you take it at your risk. But dealing with the people, we will take it on. You'll see from tomorrow, our posters going out. Because you can't wait. If you're waiting for Boxing South Africa, which we did in the past, when we got the sanctioning 2 weeks before, now you've got to rush and advertise the tournament 2 weeks before.
No,
so we don't wait for that sanctioning. We put pressure on them to give us the sanctioning letter. That's the problem that you have. And then the sanctioning letter is, we're waiting for the board to sit. They decide when we're not sitting this week, we're only sitting next week. Are you joking? But some get their sanctioning done, the day it goes in, they get their sanctioning letters. It depends who you are. Do you understand? That's the biggest problem. It's rules for some and rules for others. We don't want to be treated special. Just treat us the same as everybody else and treat everybody else the same. That's all.
Ludumo, there was a point during the conversation we were having and I saw you propping up. What did you feel like saying in that moment?
Like it happens to me, I'm sitting down approaching people because I'm also now have to act like a promoter, approach sponsors, approach people, not only for fights, for also my boxers. So, and when you approach these guys, they're business people, they cooperate, they check what they're going to invest in. If you go and print boxing in Google, it's always an issue, brother.
Right.
And someone who's willing to put money, he thinks twice to put money in such a thing like this, in such an issue like this. There is always a problem. So, like, I think it's the best. Every time when there is an issue, there must be an interim team that is going to make things moving, not stopping. Because now we're not sure when are we going to make deals, when are we going to sign. It's boxing looks bad, and people are going to run away. People are not going to invest it. We're chasing people away, and we need people. But with the issues that we always on top of them, we're always solving issues. We're not even solving them. We find a way to solve them. Like this one. This is easy. Put an interim board, make things work. Let them eat, let them pay, get them paid, let them pay, get paid. But there must be a fight for no reason. What's the reason? We don't know.
And you're on the ground with the fighters as well. You see them all the time, you interact with them.
I see them, the camp, because you spend. You change your diet when you're camping. Putti, I was doing this. I know exactly. And now, it's me now. We have to put money to feed, transport to do this and everything. I must make sure I know how dangerous is boxing, and I can't take someone and put him there knowing that he's not fit and is not okay and is not healthy to go there. And with problems like this, I mean, it's chaotic, brother.
Do you feel like the boxers, with the, maybe, as you say, a little bit of question marks in their head, are they training with the same impact?
Definitely. They're not putting foot 100. They're doubting themselves and doing something with doubts, brother. Nothing's going to move. You're not going to do anything with doubt. If you do something, if you follow the program, like us, we need to follow programs. Like in our camp, we create programs, we do this, and we're not only focusing on this fight with the sponsors we approach, we're focusing on the future. But if the start is like this, there's issues, we're waiting for this to come. It's the sponsors knocking on our door, said, are you ready? Are you clear? Is your road clear? But we're not sure. Just think about that.
When are we expected to get an answer on that? So you said 21st is your mandate.
In the letter we've given them on the 21st. Mandla had sort of acknowledged the letter. We were in communication with him. We didn't just send it to him, we told him we're doing it. And what he said is in the next few days he hopes to have an answer for us. But in the meantime, we can't wait on that. So this is just an insurance.
Okay, so it's positive news from Pretoria. Obviously, from his side, he also wishes that boxing goes ahead.
It has to be. From his side, he wants it to go ahead. He doesn't want this putting a sort of a bad block on boxing at the moment. So he wants it to go ahead, and he wants to start doing things that the other CEO was different, and so, but he's,
All right, so I take it a good working relationship with BSA. You mentioned interim board, you've mentioned interim board as well. All these things can happen and should happen, and we should see boxing going ahead from as early as possible, including sanctioning letters for fighters going overseas as well. That we've seen that happening already.
Yeah, and that's what I questioned. I'm saying it's okay for fighters to fight overseas, but the local fighters can't get sanctioning. And it was explained to me, and that's exactly what was, and I understand that. When you want a clearance letter, it's done by BSA, the office.
Yeah.
That's when you want it. And they don't. All the guys went. Sharky went. Siva's going. They get their letters. That's going okay. So it's okay for you to go and please. I'm great that I wish them all the best, and it's fantastic what they're doing for South Africa. They can go overseas and earn, no problem. It's the fighters here that can't get a tournament to earn a lousy 6,000 rand for a 4-rounder. They can't get that. How much is 6,000 rand? For them, it's like 100,000 rand. Do you understand? And yet they can't get it because why? Because somebody decided the board must do the sanctioning. They have got the expertise to do it locally in each province. They can do their own sanctioning. I've had it already when the sanctioning's taking time where at the time the COO of BSA signed it and said, fine, it's done. Now, they can't do anything because they've been put under pressure because it has to be done by the board. You see what the difference is? That's the problem. They can do it. because they're the ones that officiate at the tournaments anyway. The board doesn't come there. They're just worried about the money they're going to get for this. That's what it's all about. I think it's an absolute disgrace. That's what I think.
All right, gentlemen, on that note, I just wanted to get, is there anything that you wanted to say lastly that you wanted us to add to what you've already, the point that you've already made?
I think we've made our point and our stance and where we come from. And at this stage, I'm not talking for everybody. I can't. I am talking for all our fighters and a few people I have spoken to. In fact, they gave me some advice on what to do here. So when I say to the minister, the boxing fraternity, and if he wants us to prove who we have a mandate from, we're happy to send him the memorandum with all the signatures that we've got. And some people might not like what we're doing. They might say, who gives you the right? Yeah, I have the right because my boxers are starving. And it's on their behalf. It's not on my behalf. It's not on saying Boxing 5 says, why don't you give us the rights? You're giving me the rights so I can enhance my boxers' earnings and enhance our fighters to earn a living. That's what it's about.
And then just lastly,
I'm just thinking you're sitting now. I'm sure other sports have like problems, but not a problem like don't get in, like don't fight, don't perform, don't do it. Like we stuck in boxing, and there's always. Last year we had a problem with the board. They suspended this. There's always a drama. Like I said, we're chasing good sponsors away. We're chasing people who can grow the sport. And us people in boxing, we can't do it alone. We need people outside. We need sponsors. We need people who come and invest in boxing. And we need more fans, casuals. And if people don't watch, the white collar is going to take over because there's no politics like this. That's all I can say, bro.
all right, we'll have to get used to neutral judging and then in the white collar corners. Gentlemen, I just wanted to say all the best in the build-up to the 8th of March, where we will see a 10-fight tournament being put on, and it will go ahead, and we'll see a lot of action on the night, and we're expecting a very good crowd as well at the Boyson's Boxing, the Box Camp, rather.
The Box Camp, yeah. The Box Camp is where it's at. We're excited. We have so much interest. I can show you already. People are buying tables, they're putting money in. I imagine if it doesn't go ahead, and then they will get their money back. There's no doubt. But
we sold out the tables.
The tables, normally, they sold out. The ringside is close, and we're issuing tickets now for the general. The response has been unbelievable. And it's not about, I'm saying it's about the money. It's about putting on a tournament of this magnitude with these fighters. All young fighters and all guys that are going to reach heights that we only can be thankful that they box on Boxing 5.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen, and we'll see the reactions to your thoughts.
Hayden, thank you once again for your time. I know I put you under a bit of pressure because I think this needs to go out now, today, and let everybody know what it was. And I'm sure if you don't mind, when you do when you put it out there, you can put my email address, you can put my number, and then people can contact me. I don't have a problem.
Okay.
And I will then compile support in case. I don't think we're going to need it. I think something will give, but if you sit back and wait, nothing's going to give.
All right, fantastic. We'll list that in the bio as well of the video and on the caption for the video.
Thanks very much, Hayden. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you, Aiden. I thought I was done with you. I can't believe I'm sitting.
As I said to you, but you're not going to get rid of me as long as you're in boxing.
Nah, brother. Sweet, man. Thank you so much, man. We had to say what we had to say, man. It's not about our egos. We just want to fix boxing. It needs to be fixed. That's all, man. Thank you.
And it will be. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thanks.